you see the way everyone has been talking about the exclusion of Thomas Partey and how Otto Addo'S couldn't give a direct explanation as to why he drops the player. What do you think about the whole situation?
Yeah, you see, as Otto Addo'S indicated earlier, I mean, we are also media people, we have our source, and we have talked behind the scenes, and we know what's going on in the team right now, because I feel like some of the senior players in the team, they aren't happy with the way Thomas Partey responded to the first call-up when we were playing against Sudan in our last game that we played, because they feel like as a captain you have a responsibility that you need to be there. You need to see to it that the team qualifies to the AFCON, and you are choosing your club side ahead of the national team. And I mean, that was the reason why. The reason why the coach decided not to invite him, because one, the latter part of the presser, the coach indicated that as a player he played for Dortmund, and he was born in Germany. And one of the key things that's its utmost is best is when it's a national team duty. You don't need to prioritize your club over your national team. You need to show that commitment. And the coach feels that Thomas Partey is not showing that commitment to the national team, and he always have preference as to choose between Arsenal or Ghana, and he will always go in for Arsenal than the Black Stars. And that is not what, or the kind of leader the team needs now. You need somebody who is selfless. That's why I believe the coach decided not to invite him. And me, it's one of the best decisions the coach has taken, because I even don't want to see him in the Black Stars again, not because of anything. I don't hate Thomas Partey or anything, but you see, you can't be a leader and at the same time you can't show that you can't be that role model for the young players to follow. You decide when to come, when not to come to a national team. That's one of the Black Stars, Michael Essien, Apia, and even Andre, they left behind. We need committed people who show leadership. So I'm glad that now he has choose Jordan Ayew to lead the team now. Kudus is too young to handle this burden at this stage. The kind of toxic environment around the team will not help Kudus to even excel. So I believe Kudus need time to learn about how the team, Ghanaians, everything about the team before he said that. Take over that position as a captain. But for now, let's maintain Jordan, because he's the senior most player in the team now, so that trend will follow, and he will not feel that we are disrespecting him because Jordan playing and Kudus captain the team will create a lot of chaos in the team. So I believe it's the best decision to drop Partey, and I'll urge him not to even invite him at all in the team again, because the commitment level does not reflect somebody who is a captain for the team.
Okay, overall thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not really concerned about the squad, but then looking at where we are, it seems almost like we are not going to the AFCON. So I don't really mind the players you call. He can call, because in Ghana history there was a time 2000.
So even if he calls on that 23, you don't care?
Yes, because in the history 2001 there was a match against Nigeria. We fielded all but one out of players. So when I realized that the result wouldn't make any difference, then there's no need to call Mohamed Kudus and others too. But it's all good, and I'm happy for some players making their debut. I actually expected more players making their debut, but it's all good for them.
Yeah, you are a huge advocate of local football, and I'm sure you'll be pleased with the 3 players that have been called up to the squad. Were you expecting more local players?
Yes, I was expecting more. I was actually expecting at least one goalkeeper from the local league in a Black Star squad, because Manaf, I don't know what exceptional Manaf have done to guarantee a call up this time, because he has been asked for some time, and I don't know if you are not seeing what Otto Addo'S has seen, but then I don't know what exceptional he has done. So I was expecting maybe a figure like Benjamin Asari. He has been phenomenal. Pierre Kobe of Mediama has been superb, and Frederick Asari, of course, he has had a time in the national team. So it's always better having players who are familiar with themselves than bringing him new. So even in that case, can still make a case of Frederick Asari, but it's all good. If they are missing about for some other players too, they've done quite well. For the defense, well, yes, the Jones, Ajete, whatever, and that. Come on, they are good players, of course. But as I said, this result didn't change anything. So this, especially with the Black Galaxies also coming up in a month's time, I was expecting them to give more chance to the local players to make a case for themselves. But I expected more.
Okay, you have confirmed that you don't really care about the squad, and we've already lost the spot of qualification. So what are you expecting in the games? Will Ghana still perform? Or
I'm expecting us not to win against Angola.
Okay. You don't believe Ghana will beat Angola?
It's almost impossible. It's almost impossible. We are not winning. If we win against Angola, then that's something good. But as at now, we don't know what will happen. Maybe
even the prospect Angola's already qualified and they can field weaker players. You still don't think Ghana can beat them?
And Angola as a country wouldn't field local just any players to play against, because they know if they beat Ghana, they put themselves up there, and they really want to make that statement for other countries to feel. So Angola, we possibly could get a draw, but looking at what we've seen in the last window, I think it's going to be difficult against Niger. Their own boys were disappointed in the first encounter, and I wouldn't be surprised, especially looking at that time. You know that we are not going quarter. So we might find some players to play, which I don't expect us. Even if we are winning, it's going to be a slight margin, of which the guys from Niger also wouldn't need the result for anything. So it's going to be a clash of Entebbe, I would say.
Okay, finally, Otto Addo talked about Thomas Partey and some players who have not been called up due to injuries, and he didn't specify the reason why, specifically why he refused to call Thomas Partey. What do you think about this?
I think Otto Addo is failing to gather the courage very well and then talk to the public and then also to the player. I think he's actually looking at the possibility of maybe him needing the player at a point in time. That's why he has not been too vocal about it, because you could tell that there are more answers than questions in this very case, because if you look at Thomas Partey, during the last time he said he was injured, Otto Addo communicated that to us, and now he doesn't seem to give any particular reason as to why the player is not coming. So I think there's a lot, but if one has to come down and apologize or something, I think that needs to be done, because we can do away with him, but then we know in some games you expect to have the presence of Thomas Partey and others to do the Ibrahim Suleiman and others to play the game, but then there's points where you need him a lead.
So you think it's still useful to the Ghana Black Stars team?
Yes. He is still needful, because though he's not really playing very well in the Black Stars, but sometimes you don't field players who play very well all the time. Sometimes presence of some players actually they do speak for them, which Thomas, but even if he's not playing, him being in camp is something positive. So I think as time goes, I'm expecting him. We are not going to the AFCON, so maybe in the next in the next international window, we will look at, because
World Cup qualifier.
Yeah. If you continue like this in the World Cup qualifier, it's going to be much tougher than this one. So if you say you're going to sideline him once again and continue, it's going to be very difficult. And if you don't qualify, mind you, if you don't qualify, the whole Ghana will rage against the team, not just the two of us. Yeah.
I think, most of the names in there are names we expected, honestly. But the inclusion of Emmanuel Entry is one that I'm happy with.
Are you a Kotoko fan?
I'm not at all, but I covered Great Olympics last season before they were relegated, so I saw him. Not even on match days and on training grounds, I saw his quality, and then it was something I was gunning for him to be included in the squad. I was just surprised that Otto Addo didn't include Meja Masari from House of Folk. He was also good last season, and this season he's been arguably the best keeper in the Premier League, so I was expecting him to be in there. And when he was asked at the press conference, he couldn't answer that question, so I was surprised why Benjamin Asari is not in there. And then even if Benjamin Asari couldn't make it to the squad, I was expecting Frederick Asari to continue his streak in the squad. So generally, I don't think just calling local based players into the team is enough. I think we should give them the opportunity, the chance to actually man the field and showcase what they can have. Of course, calling them for a couple of qualifiers and then dropping them in the next qualifiers, I don't think is the right way to go. But generally, the players he scored, I think they are names to be expected, basically. Yeah.
All right. So what do you think about Ghana's chances of qualification? Most people are saying it's a done deal. If it's a done deal, what are you expecting from these two games?
Honestly, I think let's just deal with the elephants in the room. We are not going to qualify. That's the truth. With the tangent that Sudan, the Falcons of Nigeria, they are on currently, it is difficult to say they are not going to get a single point from those two games. Come on, Coach Kwesi Appiah is not going to.
But anything can happen.
Even Otto Addo mentioned that in the press conference, but honestly, they are definitely going to get that point. If not against Angola, the last game against Niger, they are definitely going to grab that point. So honestly, we are out. We should just look at a way forward. That's why I was happy when some of our colleagues were pushing the question of, okay, is he going to integrate an under-20 squad into the team moving forward? Because I think that should be the way we should go. Because next next year March, you are playing World Cup qualifiers. What is the direction of the team? That is why, again, I'm not happy with the exclusion of Thomas Partey. Yes, he explains that the reason is confidential to him, but I feel like we should leave out the personal issues out when I'm dealing with the national team and then include our best players. Because, yes, these 2 games should be like training for us for the World Cup qualifiers in March. So I think, honestly, that decision was very poor for me. But, I mean, generally, I don't think we're going to qualify, Clinton.
Okay. Okay. So, finally, we've seen how coach struggled to answer the question about Thomas Partey. What's your thoughts on that? Do you think he's slowly dropping out of the squad, or there's still hope for him? Do you think Ghana still needs him? I want to know your overall thoughts on the Thomas Partey issue.
Okay, honestly, I don't understand why Coach Otto Addo'S put himself through this, honestly, because I feel like this whole press conference today was needless, honestly, because I just listed out the squad. Seriously, Clinton.
No, I think it's because they've started the tradition of press conference to mention squad and they want to continue it.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's fair. I mean, and as media people, yes, we want the gist and all that, but I honestly think this press conference was needless because the entire press conference, a chunk of it, about 30 out of 45 minutes, was mainly on Thomas Partey's exclusion. Okay. And the reason being because he was unable to answer the questions very well. Even when Kwabena Yeboah pushed him to the wall, he still couldn't answer the question. So it's simple. You excluded our captain from the national team call-up, right? You should be able to tell us, okay, this and this, and why it's not included in the squad. But I think him beating around the bush, talking about his entire that one was basically needless, pointless at all. So I just going straight to the question. Okay, so I didn't invite him because so I thought last time he didn't respect my decision to come. That could have been simple and straight to the point. But just going around the points, I mean, it just punches holes into the whole thing. Like, okay, now there's going to be a lot of speculation, talk about Partey and all that. But I just think you should have just been honest with us. I didn't include him because I felt last time he disrespected my decision to come. That could have been easier and simple, Clinton. Yeah.
Or he could have just said it's a disciplinary issue.
Yeah, I mean, to be very democratic. I mean, what do you call it? Diplomatic. Could I just told us something instead of just leaving it like that? Honestly. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.